Your goal should be to be easeful. You disturb your ease by doing wrong things, and you call yourself diseased. To be peaceful, if a person lives based on this I, me, mine, he can never be peaceful. And then to be useful. Nothing will disturb you if your life is based on selflessness. And you can always be peaceful. And when you are peaceful, you are a happy person. I'm fortunate, in a way, to be born in a family of pious parents. They instilled the faith in God in my heart. And somehow from then on, I never worried about anything. Ultimately, I heard of another great saint in the Himalayas, Swami Satchidananda, and that was more or less the culmination of my search.
And I knew that America, everybody was experimenting, and everybody was trying to find another way of expanding the mind. The yogic type of thinking about love and peace, it was in the air, it was sort of a fashion. But for it to really become part of your lifestyle, not just an idea, was very big. And I said to him, I said, Swami, America needs you. And I remember he kind of laughed and he slapped his knee and he said, why, America needs me? And he said, well, if America needs me, maybe I'll come.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
America is helping everybody in the material field, but the time has come for America to help the whole world with spirituality also.
While some young people demonstrate for peace and others seek it in the artificial solace of drugs, here in New York, Swami Satchidananda teaches another way to peace. And on Friday evenings, he helps both young and old in the age-old battle to control the mind, which is the power of yoga.
It is impossible to reform outside without having that reformation within ourselves.
That class, which is taught as part of integral yoga, has very profound physiologic benefits in its design. Once you learn them, even if you don't practice regularly, you can still rely on them in times of need. So it starts with chanting, which immediately gets you out of that left brain sort of stuck thinking. So we end the yoga class with yogic seal, where you cross your legs and bend over them, which stretches the parasympathetics at the base of the spine.
If you can bring the forehead onto the floor.
Gets us prepared for the deep relaxation.
As there is no tension in the body, there is no need for a heavy breathing. So the breath is very shallow.
Then pranayama.
Simply observe the breath.
And finally, meditation, which is the most direct path to stress management. So to consciously choose to remain peaceful in the midst of our day.
You were the witness of your own body. You are not the body, not even the vital breath, not even the mind. You seem to be a witness. That is the essential quality of the soul, the pure soul.
And now, in America, despite it getting kind of lost in the asana craze, yogis are beginning to really look for that place that Swami Satchidananda symbolized.
The literal meaning of yoga is to unite. Maintaining the equanimity is yoga.
The concept of integral yoga was to bring the teachings of yoga into all aspects of our lives by showing us how yoga could be a part of the way we would think intellectually, be a part of the way that we would act in the world. There are centers spread all over the globe, and it's amazing to think that these centers happened because Gurudev visited all these places, because he spent time there and interacted with people.
To work on your ego, you need to learn to be of service to others.
But what good of your yoga if it could be practiced only in the Himalayan cave? You're no good for anything or anybody. And not everybody can do it. So if you are a yogi, stay in the midst of the din and bustle of the town, of the city, of the life, and still maintain your equanimity.
He took the most profound, the most sublime teachings, and he made them very simple and clear. And not only did he make them accessible, somehow he had the gift to give us the confidence that we could practice them and derive the benefits.
I've seen him through the last over 20-some years of all the ups and downs around us and in the world. Never a moment he lost his peace at all. How he lived, how he spoke, what he did was integral yoga.
Something galvanized around him, and he supported that.
You know, he has said many things, but the most important, he talked about the children. He said, go to the children, bring them right, so that, you know, the future world will be good.
I had been given a book by a friend of mine called Autobiography of a Yogi. And toward the end of the book it said, if you want a teacher, ask and he shall come. I would say within 2 weeks we were asked to do a television program. And I walked in and there he was. So we're sitting talking, and I told him exactly what I'm telling you, you know, that I was so disillusioned. I used to say to Swami, you know, what about the world? And you know, we got trouble in Palestine, and you know, and he used to go, oh my God. He says, I gave you a broom, I told you to clean your closet, and you want to clean the whole house? Finish your closet, and then come back and talk to me, you know?
Yoga allowed me to get my body focused on something, so my mind could be freed to focus on emptiness. And so although the asanas of yoga are important, it was the deep breathing and meditative aspects of yoga that provided the deepest lessons. So these tools, which at a very basic level for a healthy human have benefit, provide an incremental benefit to folks who have illness. And in particular, if you can combine yoga with meditation, you begin to see medicinal benefits in a whole slew of different areas.
That's one of Swami Satchidananda's great contributions, is that he talked about the relationship of the mind and emotions to health. He talked about using more natural approaches to treatment and prevention. The idea that, that we can assist the body to heal itself as opposed to cover up a symptom. I would say that characterizes the shift toward alternative medicine and integrative medicine, complementary medicine that's going on right now.
If we are simply going to treat only the people for their problems without telling them why you are in this trouble, what did you do? What went wrong? How could you avoid coming to me again? That's very important.
That's what integrative medicine to me is all about. It's integrating the best of traditional and non-traditional approaches and using science to show what works, what doesn't, for whom and under what circumstances. In our studies, we use these very high-tech, expensive, state-of-the-art measures to prove the power of these very ancient, low-tech and low-cost interventions, like what we learned from Swami Satchidananda.
I would never try to advise someone to take care of their body without dealing at the same time with the spiritual issues that I know they're facing, because they're human. and all humans face that issue.
Yoga is not another religion. It simply presents the basic principles behind all the religions.
Had a lot of visibility as a major religious figure in America. He was a Hindu leader who wasn't just talking to Hindus about Hindu ritual. He was talking about the issues of the world, which included dealing with people of other traditions, because we're now living in a globalized world.
Listen, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. In my synagogue I add, listen, O Israel, and listen, O humankind. Everybody has to listen. What's the message? There's only one God. And therefore, by definition, there's only one family of all humankind.
Then I thought there should be a place to remind that, a permanent place. It is that idea that made me think of lotus. So I said, a shrine in the form of lotus, L-O-T-U-S. It stands for Light of Truth Universal Shrine. The first shrine which could accommodate altars for all the various faiths. So it's a physical, concrete symbol to express the goal that we should get united in the name of religion. That's the purpose of religion. Let's not kill each other in the name of God and religion.
You know, this vision of this lotus temple, I think, is more relevant today than ever, because all of the things that we are so afraid of, you know, terrorism and religious wars and jihads and all of this, they all begin with that misperception that we are separate and only separate from each other. Because once we have the other half of that, which is, yes, we are separate and we are all interconnected, it becomes much harder to demonize people and to do bad things to them.
Life is to have fun. If we want, we can always be happy. It's completely in our hands. If I can have the right attitude, nobody, I mean really nobody, on this earth or anywhere in the planet can make me unhappy.
I mean, Sri Gurudev has always said the highest compliment that you can ever pay me, he said, is to enjoy all the happiness and joy that I experience.